Sony Ericsson, Razor, and G-Skill. You guys rock.
They do, man.
Rock like the guy who is Terran.
Startail Farmer.
I pulled that one out pretty quick. It's like, there he is. I like Bomber. He's a really cool guy.
He is a really cool guy.
Went drinking with him once. He was really fun to hang out with. A little bit quiet, but here's his opponent, the Terran killer. Can he kill this Terran?
MVP DongRaeGu.
A little bit of trivia about these guys' names for you while the games start up. Bomber used to be called NSP Fancy, actually, and he still plays with some of his NSP clanmates, even though it's not a pro team or anything like that. Some of the teams, like old Brood War like clans, are now the teams. Like the name clan is now the IM team, that kind of thing. I don't remember what NSP. I think they kind of sort of merged into one of the teams, but
well, NSP was close with Nex as far as I know.
That's right. They kind of were close with Nex.
I don't know the exact details of that, but I know NSP people work together quite well with Nex. That's why, you know, Genius was Nex Genius, and then he joined NSP, and he was kind of always an NSP, but he just kind of swapped around and stuff. Well, we're going to see, you know, Bomber is taking a gas right now. He's probably going to go for a Reactor Hellion expand. Yeah. It's a pretty normal expansion. It's almost always what we see in this matchup. And, you know, Bomber, I have to say I feel a little bit sorry for his performance recently. I feel a little bit sad for him, you know. He's one of those guys who really wants to do well. And I spoke with the old Eastro coach, actually, recently that, you know, used to help train and talk to Bomber. And he said, in StarCraft 2, Bomber is actually, you know, so proud of himself because in Eastro he could never really be as good as he wanted to be. And now in StarCraft 2, he was a star for a while, and he said he's kind of struggling right now because he had this sudden, you know, surge of fame, but now he's like kind of fallen back a little bit. And he's struggling to deal with that. So I feel for him a little bit. I mean, it's a tough spot to be in. It's really stressful when you're stressed out every match. It's obviously not going to play as well.
Blocks the drone from getting in, although it is scout the factory.
The
so
drone
it
saw what he wanted to see anyways.
Exactly. And is not going to escape from that corner, though. Oh, it's going to become an extractor in that corner. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for Bomber. I like the guy. So, is he going to get out? Oh, nope, not this time. Is he going to get the extractor again? Is he gonna get it? No.
I think he was trying to decide if he wanted it, and he was like, no.
He's like, whatever. Anyway, so my trivia about DongRaeGu, you probably already heard if you watched the Arena of Legends tournament last weekend.
Wall off. Sorry, I just want to note that was not a tight wall.
Oh, no, that's important. Anyway, just real quick, I was talking to Slayer Sella, and DongRaeGu actually used to be on the Wera clan with Sella. And so they're like buddies. And he said DongRaeGu is actually like the neighborhood that he's from. Like, you know how we're in Mokdong? Yeah. Dong, it means like neighborhood or area or something like that in Korean. So DongRaeGu is actually like the neighborhood in, I think, Busan that DongRaeGu is from.
Well, that's really cool. I actually was not aware of that. Well, I was not until I heard you say it last time.
I was not aware of it until Sella told me.
That's cool. It's it turns out it's not related to spaghetti sauce at all.
Nope. As much as we all wanted it to be. So we did see the Reactor Hellion expand, and he's following up with, well, just...
He's made a second factory.
Yeah, making the second factory.
And he's also making a second reactor, so we may see a very similar build to what we saw DongRaeGu fall to in the first game. And of course, Bomber was watching that. You might be thinking, well, it worked before. Maybe I'll mock what Happy has done. You know what's really interesting about both of what these players have done is Bomber, for example, took his... Most people go for really fast commands on this map. Because it's Calm Before the Storm, you can take that fast backdoor easy base. But DongRaeGu took his outside base instead.
Interesting.
And against Terran, that can be sometimes hard to defend, but it does allow him to kind of spread creep out in the right direction and then take kind of a freebie base, which he's going to do right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's double Reactor Hellions again.
This map reminds me a lot of a Brood War map that I can't remember the name of. I guess there were actually several Brood War maps that had these like backdoor expansions that were easy to take.
It reminds me of Crevasse, of course, from Starcraft 2 as well.
Yeah.
Very similar to Crevasse. A little bit easier of a natural to take. In the middle of the map is much less complicated, I guess I would say. And
he sees it. DongRaeGu lost these Hellions before. Is he going to get enough roaches out in time? He's making his third base. He's making spine crawlers.
3 spines immediately started.
He doesn't have time for the roaches, so he makes a bunch of Zerglings instead.
Yeah, these Zerglings not going to be very useful. He's going to have to try to use them to buffer. There's only one queen position. He's actually going to try to use the queens to block with the spines. I'm not sure if that's the right choice, because these could maybe go up the ramp.
And the Zerglings are there, and they're obviously going to die to the Hellions if they engage, but what they can do is just, if the Hellions try and go between the spines, they can form a little bit of a wall and stop them. 3 spine crawlers are up. They're going to do massive damage, but he's trying to take them down. He needs to decide if he's going to actually like go past or just run away.
Because if he just damages the spine crawler and loses Hellions, which is all he's done so far, it's not actually worth it to do that. Transfuse goes off on that spine that was damaged. He's going to sneak by. It looks like no.
No, he's attacking the spine crawlers with...
Oh, man. This is the wrong choice. Now he gets surrounded.
Oh.
But the Lings decide to come back. He's just trying to buy time. His lair is almost done here. Spine's doing so much damage, decreasing that Hellion count, but if he only takes a few Hellions, he loses a lot of Zerglings, man. It's 4 Hellions at a time, reinforcing.
I'm not sure why Bomber is trying to kill off spine crawlers.
Bomber is just trying to kill off the spine crawler, man. I don't know.
That's actually silly.
But with more Hellions here, he's now opened somewhat of a pathway he can try to go through. But again, he's targeting down the spine crawler. This is actually ridiculous, man.
This is just silly. I mean, he's only within range of 1 spine crawler now, but he's just planting down more. DongRaeGu sends in his Zerglings to kill off the injured Hellions, targets them down, and gets 5 extra Hellions out of the deal. Bomber has not really gotten over a dozen because he keeps losing them. Why is he targeting spines?
Again, and I'm going to say DongRaeGu going to be feeling pretty good after this.
Yeah.
He just made a round of drones. It's 48 drones to 43 SCVs. Bomber is just now starting his 3rd command center, but Aspire is already on the way. He's adding 2 gases at his 3rd base. He's about to have 6 gases up and running. I mean, he's going to have mutas in close positions by air. He's going to be in great shape. But Bomber has not stopped Hellion production. He's not giving up on killing these spine crawlers yet.
No.
I mean, that's literally all he's achieving with these Hellions. And it's not an achievement.
No, I have no idea what Bomber is thinking here, to be honest with you. Zergling's coming in for a little bit of run by. The depot's raised, so they can't accomplish anything.
I feel like we have watched Bomber lose his sanity or something. I'm like watching this and I'm like, he's trying to make a pathway. Then he like opens up a pathway and he like doesn't use it. He's like trying to kill the other spine crawler. I'm like, what is going on?
It feels like he might have fallen into a trap that you fall into when you're a newer player, and that's the trap of, oh, if I can just do a little bit more, I'll win. And he might, maybe he was just thinking like, well, if I could just kill off 1 more spine crawler, then I'll be able to do more damage. But if I can just kill off this 1 spine, then I'll have control. And he's like trying to like just try and get 1 more. I don't know, but he's just not accomplishing enough, and that's the trap. That's why it's a trap, is because you can't fall into that, because you always end up losing more than you need to, more than it's worth. It's better to just, if you're not, if you're in a position where you can't do damage, just fall back, use it as map control, take another base. And that's what DongRaeGu is doing now.
Very true. Now, what DongRaeGu has done is he's made 13 mutas in total, but there are already 5 missile turrets up for Bomber. Bomber's not going to be able to take his 3rd base, though, while these mutas are out, but the muta's not going to be able to do a whole lot in the main. There's 5 turrets up already. It's going to damage these depots, though. The Marine count is so low. This is why this is such an all-in, really. It's just actually an all-in, what Bomber has done here, especially when he tried to go for the spines. It was totally an all-in. Now DongRaeGu can actually just kill Marines. He can trade. That's how far ahead he is.
Yeah. And DongRaeGu is just going to play it safe, though. And if you lose this game, you're out. You're down to Code A.
Yeah, you're all the way down to Code A.
All the way down to the first round of Code A, actually, if you lose this game. So DongRaeGu is just playing it safe. He doesn't want to lose to something too much. But
he actually could just end this game right here.
There he goes.
Tearing through these Marines. He's actually targeting down the missile turrets. If he can eliminate the last missile turret, then he'll actually be able to kill everything else.
And the Marines are dead. The turret is almost, he actually almost had to target it down, and he actually tried to run away, and it got repaired.
But even so, he traded really efficiently here. He's got a lot more Zerglings ready to go as well. That's the second muta that's flown into that missile turret, actually, just to die. Bad rally by DongRaeGu. But DongRaeGu is preventing this barracks from making. He's killed a lot of depots. He can kill any Marine that pops out of these barracks. He's actually going to start going for these add-ons.
Oh yeah, if he can get that tech lab, that's huge.
And DongRaeGu, the Terran killer, man, embarrassing Bomber here a little bit. These Hellions getting caught as well. Maybe he's going to send him to go attack some spine crawlers now or something. I don't know.
I actually don't know why he didn't hunt down those Hellions with the mutas.
Just wants to continue to put this pressure on by the looks of things. He's going to go to the backdoor expansion, kill some SCVs here. Is going to attempt to target down this, but not quite get it. Losing just 2 mutas in the process there. And the 3rd falls as well. DongRaeGu being a little bit sloppy in Steel's control. And like you said, I'm a little bit surprised when he go and kill his Hellions anyways, but he's trying to keep the Marine count low and make sure that Bomber cannot take his third, but I guess today's the day where we're going to watch units attack static defenses.
I guess so. Because mutas are just going ahead and attacking these Marines here. And yeah, he's just like, all right, I'm so far ahead that if I can keep your Marine count low, I can just kill you with Zerglings. And he is making more Zerglings now. And he does have +1 weapons on those mutas, so they can kill the Marines fairly quickly without medevacs. Although 2 medevacs are going to pop out in just a moment.
But yeah, man, he's going to start keeping these barracks low, and he's forcing stims. Zerglings are going to run in here. I'm not sure if it's the right moment, but the Zerglings actually help clean up those Marines with the tanks.
The tanks helping clean up the Marines. And he's going to lose a barracks, actually. There's nothing he can do about that barracks.
Barracks goes down. Marine stim to chase 2 Marines. Cannot chase 8 mutas, though.
And there is a new tech lab on that factory. That's why I said it was huge, because now he's able to make Thors. His armory was in production before, and that is going to help out pretty well against the mutas at the very least, or anything else that DongRaeGu can throw at him. But
DongRaeGu is just so far ahead. He's 50 supply up. He's actually sent some Zerglings in here to trade again against these siege tanks. Not a bad choice. Targeting down actually the missile turret.
Nice.
And you know, at this point, you can actually just magic box the Thor when it pops out. There are going to be 2 Thors popping out though, so he's got to be careful with how he does this.
I'm surprised he's not picking off those tanks also, but like I said, at this point, DongRaeGu is just going to do whatever he wants. He can just play it safe.
Look at how many Zerglings he has outside that base as well. He can run it at any time. +2 for his Muse is about to finish.
Wow.
He's got 3 more Muse on the way and 22 more Zerglings. I think he's just going to go in with everything.
Yeah, he's just going to go for the kill.
Because he can trade efficiently even if he doesn't kill his opponent. He's got a macro hatchery up. He's got a 4th base finishing up at this point as well. And oh man, Bomber's going to try to move down and take his natural right now. It's going to be the last thing that he wants to do against what DongRaeGu has planned.
And yet, at the same thing, it's kind of at the same time, it's kind of the only thing he can do. Yeah, because if he doesn't, then he's going to be so far economically behind. He knows.
Here we go.
There he is, moving in. The Zergling's going to kill off the tanks. The Muta's not.
Yeah, not the best Muta micro there.
But not being microed, yeah. But and he's going to be forced to retreat.
Cleaned off those tanks, and you know, interestingly enough, we have not seen a Baneling nest or anything like that. He just knows he's basically dealing with only tanks and Thors at this point because the Marine count is kept so low.
And yeah, I think DongRaeGu needs to be a little bit more careful about his rallies. He gets a turret over here. But yeah, Bomber knows that DongRaeGu has a 4th base. He can probably imagine DongRaeGu is going to take a 5th before too long. So if he doesn't take that 3rd, he's just dead.
Well, he is killing SCVs with Glaive Worm bounce damage as he kills depots. I mean, that is what's going on.
He has +2 on
this here.
What? Thor is going to be going for a solo mission in a medevac somewhere.
He just used it because the tanks were sieged up blocking the ramp.
Oh, okay.
Because actually I discovered, I was like, why is this happening? Well, Baneling speed is on the way now, +2 melee weapons as well. He's continuing to add drones in here. Right now the worker count is 75 drones, 62 SCVs. He hasn't killed very many SCVs. He's starting to do that now though, cleaning up these turrets as well. Forcing the remake of turrets is something that Bomber cannot afford to do right now. Bomber actually with more minerals in the bank than DongRaeGu because he's lost so many.
Is he going to lose the orbital?
But the Thor is here to the rescue. Oh, that's the last thing he wanted to do there. That was a close call. Wow, I guess it turns out if you pick up the Thor, you can kind of dodge some Glaive Worms.
Yeah.
If your opponent messes up a little bit, doesn't expect
cool,
you to do that. But then, it turns out that's okay.
But then you risk having him just pop the medevac while the Thor is in it.
Well, here comes the big final attack from DongRaeGu. He's got 1-1 upgrades for his Zerglings, +2 on the Mutas.
Bomber will feel the power of the swarm today. DongRaeGu's Zerglings going in, forced to fight the SCVs. The tanks trying to hold out, but there's nothing to stop the Mutalisks. And we may see GG any moment. No, a few more Marines come in. Are those Marines going to be enough to fight off the Mutas? They will for a moment, but he's going to get a couple tanks on the way out. And DongRaeGu is still up 70 supply.
He's taking a 5th base at the top right as well during all this. Going in for another attack now. Just trying to use the Zerglings to force siege tanks to splash the Marines. He's about to have +2 on those Zerglings as well. He's got +2 Carapace on the way. He's actually about to have +1 Carapace for his Mutas as well, man.
I wonder if Bomber knows how far behind he is at this point.
I think he does, but he does not want to go down to Code A. He does not want to fall out of the GSL, because if he falls down, remember guys, the loser of this match goes down to the round of 48 of Code A, and the loser of the round of 48 of Code A is out of the GSL forever. So he actually could be gone next season even if he makes mistakes there, like he's made mistakes here.
You can fall very swiftly in the new format, that is for sure. Although I do actually like the new format a lot.
I do too, man.
Look at this, +2 Mutas fighting Marines, turning We're going to take a couple shots at that Thor before
and
running.
Yeah, this isn't an efficient trade, but it's okay at this point because he's just got so much more economy. It's okay for him to trade like this.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just not allowing Bomber to turtle up and remake units.
Yeah,
he's
and that's
keeping the count always low.
That's actually really smart because the only choice Bomber has right now is to turtle and move out with a maxed army. And hold that thought, he's never going to get there. Mutas and Zerglings coming in. And looks like he's going to yet again fight him off just barely.
2 Banelings popping out to die. 26 more Zerglings rallying in here. +2 Flyer Carapace on the way. +2 Carapace for ground units about to be finished as well. 48 Zerglings in production for DongRaeGu. He's ready to end this game, man.
I'm actually surprised Bomber's moving out like this.
Well, it's his only choice at this point. He knows he just cleaned up a fairly large army. He's not really sure what DongRaeGu has, but he's like, well, I only have 2 bases, and my last base is almost mined out. I might as well do this because I can't make 400 minerals to make another command center.
I guess that's true. And DongRaeGu just trying to macro up another army. He is at 180 supply to Bomber's 106.
He knows he just has to win this one fight, so it's okay if he loses this macro hatchery right now. Yeah. He's actually going to do a massive flank. He's got a ton of Banelings set up.
Banelings coming in. So many. He can even throw away some on the Thor. The Marines are trapped against the edge. And the Mutas come in from behind to finish up. The Zerglings are so plentiful. GG coming from Bomber, and DongRaeGu has kept his chances alive in the GSL round of 32.
Bomber. Bomber is out of Kodas.
Wow.
We're about to find out, though, who will be out of this group. Will it be DongRaeGu or will it be Gumiho?
Yeah.
Both of these guys now 1-1. Bomber looking a little bit disappointed.
Yeah,
and that his play here, I feel, was just really indicative of him being not as confident as he should be. You know, he's a strong macro player, his decision making is good, but instead of making a smart decision, he went for a Reactor Hellion Expand on a Calm Before the Storm where you can get kind of a free base. Then he just went double Reactor Hellions, which is an all-in. He did an all-in and didn't work, and then he tried to kill Spine Crawlers with Hellions. Let's be honest, he tried to kill Spine Crawlers with Hellions. Like, that was what build did Bomber do? Like, if I talked to Doe after this, he like didn't watch maybe, he's like, what did Bomber do? I'm like, well, he tried to kill Spine Crawlers with Hellions. That was his build order, man. Forget how he got there. That's the end result.
No, that's really what it all comes down to. It really all comes down to that. I mean,
the Overlord
DongRaeGu got so far ahead because he made a ton of Hellions and he attacked the things that counter Hellions. He attacked the Spine Crawlers
head on. He didn't like attack them and try to micro so he could kill some of the Zerglings and the Spines.
He had so many Hellions. If he had just held back, not attacked the Spine, and run by. Yeah. If he'd run by, he would have killed all the drones, he could have killed the Queens, he could have killed the Zerglings with that many Hellions very easily.
Yeah. We'll talk more about it after a 5-minute break, guys. Don't go anywhere.